Okay, we're going to look at solving some more advanced linear equations, and we've talked about addition and multiplication properties separately, and now we're going to combine them together. So when you have something that involves both of these properties, the first thing you do is use the addition property to get the variable term, that means the term with the variable in it, alone. Once you've done that, then use the multiplication property to isolate the variable. So that means to be able to solve for the variable, have it by itself. So let's use these two properties to solve 9x minus 7 equals negative 7. So before we either had addition or multiplication property, but now we have both. So the first thing I want to do is deal with this term that does not have the variable attached to it. So I'm on the side with the variable term and the term without the variable, and I want to move this negative 7. I want to eliminate it. So the opposite of a negative 7 is a positive 7, so I'm going to go ahead and add 7 to both sides of the equal sign. So on one side of the equal sign, and then you're not doing it over here, you have to go to the other side of the equal sign to make this an equivalent equation. Then remember, this negative 7 plus 7 cancels. I bring down the 9x, I bring down the equal sign, and then on the right hand side here, negative 7 plus 7 is 0. Now I'm going to use the multiplication property to get this x by itself. So this is 9 times x. I'm going to divide both sides by 9. Because remember, 9 divided by 9 is 1, and 1x is just the same thing as x. Equals 0 divided by anything is 0. So x equals 0. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and try example 2 using the same two properties. Remember, first thing I want to do is get this variable term by itself, so I need to look at the term next to it, which is the plus 2, so I need to move that. So I'm going to, opposite is subtract 2. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides of the equal sign. These will cancel. 6 minus 2 is 4 equals a divided by 4. I now want to get a by itself, so you need to use the opposite property. So the opposite of division is multiplication, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. Remember, this is the same thing as 4 over 1. I'm going to multiply by 4 over here. Because remember, over here, this 4 and this 4 will cancel, and all I'll be left with is a. So I'm going to go ahead and write the a first. It equals 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, go ahead and pause this and try example 3. Try and get x by itself. Okay, so what you should have done, first thing we want to get rid of this minus 1 so I can get this variable term by itself. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides of the equal sign. And I get 4/3 x equals 11. Okay, now we have a fraction next to the variable. Remember, the easiest way to get rid of a fraction is to multiply both sides by their reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3/4. Because that means over here, these 3's and these 4's will cancel. And so on the left-hand side, I'll have x equals 11 times 3/4 is 33 over 4. Okay, and last one on this page, we're going to have a plus 1, so I want to move this over to the other side, so I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, bring down the negative 9m equals negative 80 minus 1 is a negative 81, so just be careful with your signs. And now to get m by itself, this is multiplication, I need to divide both sides and make sure you take the sign with you. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 9. That's the only way this will divide to be a positive one. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 9, and when I do that, I get m equals negative 81 divided by negative 9 is a positive 9.